The name's Bracer Phoenix. I got these sweet brass knucks with the unstoppable Vortex cannon, this rear cannon for defense.
He said rear.
I am an unstoppable kaiju killing machine.
Oh yeah? Well, can you do this?
So that's how we're stopping the apocalypse now, with hand jobs. Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we'll be going over the Robot Spirit Specific Arm Uprising Side Jaeger Bracer Phoenix. This is the heavy mech of the movie, I'm assuming. Just because he definitely looks like the big bulky guy. He's our Eternal Alpha, if you will.
No, the other guy is. He's got a ball chain on his hand.
He's got a ball chain, but he's a little slimmer.
So because this guy's fat, he's bigger? Is that what you're saying, Steve?
That's kind of the definition.
You're a monster.
It's true. But just want to point out for this video, again, haven't seen the movie. It's not out yet as the recording of this, so we're just going to be going over this figure solely based off just how good the toy is. Not like movie accurate or whatnot, because I just don't know. But the reason why I picked up this figure is just because I love the original film, so I'm just going to... Literally, we're getting everything. Everything. Possibly the Diamond Selects, maybe. I kind of want the Kaijus at least from that one, because these guys, we're only getting the vinyls, so it'd be kind of nice to get some articulated ones, even if they're a little bigger. But, anyways, let's just get into the figure here. So, without further ado, first, packaging, pretty much the same as what we got with Titan Redeemer, with the little blueprint of the Jaeger at the top. Got a nice little shot of him on the front with his chest cannons. Outside of the packaging, just has his name, Robot Spirits, more Pacific Rim Uprising. Side of the package just shows him with his box opening up with, just kind of standing there. Number 229 in the series. And on the back of the package just has him in some dynamic poses. Oh god, there's so many poses, right?
Oh
kind of worried. And with his little rear Vortex cannon parts. So it's a Vortex cannon, I guess.
Coming out of his butt?
Lower back.
That says rear. When you talk about rear, I'm assuming it comes out of his butt.
That'd be kind of funny. And some stuff I can't understand, and some legal mumbo jumbo at the bottom. So let's get him opened up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we've gotten him opened up out of his cardboard prison, first we go over his accessories, which I want to point out something. You're not going to hear Arnaz for the next, couple of minutes, because this section of the video decided to corrupt on itself. So, I'm down here refilming this section. So once we get to what I actually end up calling the vector cannons, they're Vortex cannons. I do apologize. I'm going to probably be saying that for the rest of the video. So, sorry in advance. But anyways, for his accessories, we're going to go over these ones in a minute. So, I'm going to swap these out right now. What he comes with is a pair of clenched fists, which one of the clenched fists has a set of brass knucks on it. Well, I guess technically one. It's not really a set. But that's his primary method of melee combat is brass knucks. What we have resorted to, couldn't they just added some spikes to the hands? It would have been the same effect, because it's just added metal plating over top of his hand. It looks cool, but it's kind of silly. It kind of appears here too that he's gonna have a rocket fist kind of move, which also in the trailer, and somebody pointed out that he actually has the same kind of ball, the spike ball that you see on Titan Redeemer. So I actually kind of want to see, because somebody was telling me that you could swap them out, but the way it's set up on Titan Redeemer, anyways, I'll go grab them real quick, is this section for mine, this part slides off, and then you can kind of just pull straight from the forearm, but this actually will come out. Now, thing is, there's not actually a ball joint, so that's not going to stick on there, right? And I don't think getting that ball joint out is going to do me any much better, but let's see if we can get it out without any pliers. All right, got it out. It goes in a little. I guess so. There you go. If you want to have the way he looks from the trailer, it is possible, though it sticks out a little bit. But I guess it's an option. But I am going to reassemble his hand real quick. He comes with a pair of open palm hands, Which, these are actually kind of neat. Although, I don't understand why you would ever want to open this hand. Because, again, it has the brass knucks over it. So, like, why would you use this one for gripping when you want to use this one for punching, right? Not 100% how that's supposed to be effective. But, anyways, how you swap these out is you just want to go straight from the forearm joint. You just want to pull it out. And then grabbing the corresponding hand. Just like on Titan Redeemer, they're set at an angle. Which is a little weird. But because of how little room there is for articulation here, although he actually has a decent amount of play here for his hand, they already kind of have the hand pose slightly how you want it. And then just to swap out the other one here as well. Which, this one's a little bit stiffer. But, here you go. So now you can have him like looking like he's getting ready to push some kaijus over or something. It's got kaiju tipping. But, yeah, so it's cool that he comes with extra hands. It's such a, God, I keep dropping these things. It's such a goofy little concept for the melees. Because I understand, like, the Mark I Jaegers were, like, blunt force trauma. You don't want to spread the kaiju blue. But it's still kind of silly. It's as silly as Cherno Alphas with his extendy punching hand. It's just, he punches, like, harder, I guess. But then technically, like, wouldn't you have more weight on behind the punch if you just swung and hit him? I imagine it would have more weight behind it than just a piston. So, again, it looks cool. But it's kind of silly. Just like this. But still cool. Like, I appreciate it. I'm going to have him punching some kaijus for sure. And then next we'll move on to the Vortex cannon. Again, I'm going to be calling it the Vector cannon for the remainder, because for some odd reason, my brain just decided to die at that point and forgot what the name of it was. And Arnez will be back here in just a second. Which, how you get those on is right here, this little plate comes out. And then on the back here too. Which, one thing I want to point out is, what kind of bothers me is that this section back here isn't really painted.
It looks weird.
Because looking at the cannon that goes there, it actually has that really nice gunmetal paint job. And it sits there, right? Why isn't that painted to kind of match it?
Save money, man.
That's pretty much it. Like, a lot of this is going to be, like, some stuff is going to be skimped out at this price point. Overall, like, the paint job is still pretty good, but there could have been maybe, like, some added paint here. Which is one thing I would kind of want to bring up in this video anyways, because Bracer Phoenix, it wasn't really as much noticeable because of, like, the accessories not really coming off and stuff. This one kind of stands out a little bit more for me with missing paint there and just certain sections not really having as much stuff. That, compared to some of the other Robot Spirits figures, like, they're pretty much, like, anime accurate. While this guy, I feel like, is probably, for his price point, there's some stuff that's skimped out a little bit. Which is fine, because I do like me some cheaper figures, especially, like, really articulated, nice cheap figures. But, it's just want to point out to you guys that certain areas aren't going to be quite as painted as others. But, again, how you pop these out, we'll start with the back. You just kind of get your nail in on the side here.
Struggle is real.
Struggle is real, because the back part for me is a little stiffer. And you just pull it out. And then you just want to set the Vector cannon with the green part towards the top. Slides in really nice. And then for the front, this one comes out pretty easy. But same concept. You just want to grab right on the sides here. And just kind of wiggle it out a little bit.
Please just leave them with the cannons on.
That's probably always going to be on my shelf, to be honest. Once I get them posed. And then once you get the Vector cannons in, looks spiffy. So he's got guns facing from both directions.
God, that looks so stupid. I'm sorry.
I don't know, like, it's a neat little concept. Like, the guy, like, goes from, like, one part of the cockpit to the other to fire the cannons. Back cannons are kind of weird, but I guess, like, the element of surprise. The main reason I want to keep, like, the back one in, at least, is so there's, like, that added little paint job there. Like, it's just a little bit more accurate.
God, I want to be excited about these guys, Steve.
Well, the issue with these guys to begin with is, the funny thing is that Robot Spirits is doing, because they do look more Gundam than the original Jaeger set.
Yeah.
They were a little bit more unique looking, while these guys just kind of, like, different sizes, but more or less the same style. But to be honest, it looks cool, but it's just like compared to some of like the armaments that some of the other Jaegers have, like especially Striker Eureka, it seems kind of insignificant, especially like with the size of the body. You think they could have added some bigger cannons.
You would think as like technically the time goes on they would make better robots, but to me it seems like they were just making them worse and worse.
I don't know, what has giant hammer spike ball hand? They actually have swords now.
I don't know, man. I feel like they would not par up to the first versions.
Well, it's just like you think like since like Gypsy Danger did so good that they would just be modeling the mechs more after that.
Yeah.
So like Saber Athena has like the actual like katana swords. Gypsy Avenger has the chain blades. But then we have like this guy, which again has brass knucks.
What, did they run out of budget?
Like, where did we go wrong? But anyways.
I think it was right about the part where we decided to put the cannons on the back. Right about there, yeah. Right there.
But then he can attack from behind. That actually makes probably more sense to me than them being on the front, because if they're in the front of him, he can just punch them, right?
Or he can just grab them, hug them, and shoot them with those.
But for a closer look at his details, for his head, very scrunched in. But it's very, for his helmet, reminds me a lot of Halo.
There's a reason why I hated him.
In a sense, where you have the gold visor on the front here with some armor plating on the top section of the visor, and a looks kind of like a dark metallic brown, and the rest of his body's done in a what kind of color is that? It's like camel green,
It's
olive. It's olive.
It's an odd color, whatever it is.
Some color.
A lot of it on there.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire Jaeger in a nutshell. You get some ratings on the top section of the shoulder pads with some looks sort of like grid pattern. I guess it's more like tiny little black V's going across. You get them on both shoulders. Nothing on the back of the shoulder though. And then you have more of the same on the right section of the breastplate. I had to flip it around just to make sure. I get kind of confused sometimes. But for the rest of the armor, giant shoulder pads on the top. Nice thing is that they're actually on their own little ball joint, which is kind of cool because you get more articulation out of these arms than you do with Titan Redeemer. Like these actually can spin around, which is really nice. So you can definitely get a lot more articulation out of this big guy here. For the arms though, mostly just kind of what you expect, just giant metallic arms. But on the opposite side, again, you have what appears to be thrusters, so you can punch a little bit harder. Or maybe like
maybe you should stop
he makes a fist and there's like beams that come out or something. Like pew pew.
Hopefully he's not that breakable in a movie.
He didn't break, it popped off. Super duper easy. For the rest of his body, definitely a little bit larger, but it slims down. He's got some hips. He's got a nice curve to him, you know?
I'm trying to be as positive as I can. I'm not going to say anything.
It's got some gunmetal on the front. Oh, I guess that's actually gunmetal. That's what that is. But anyways, he's got some gunmetal here for the front section of the vector cannon ports. Again, on the back, no real added detailing, which I guess you're never going to really see him from behind. Like, I don't know how many people are actually going to pose them like this on their shelves. So you don't really need the added paint job here, but it would have been nice, especially because I imagine there should be more here too on the bottom of the legs. Especially. But we'll forgive it for now, especially at the $30 price point. I think it's pretty acceptable. With some more yellow patterns here on the thigh section. Moving down his legs. Not a whole lot in terms of coloring, but it does have kind of like that back angle that we had with Crimson Typhoon.
Looks like he's got like reverse ostrich legs.
That's pretty much, well, actually, wouldn't it just be ostrich legs? Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not really, if reverse be normal. But yeah, one thing that's kind of nice though, compared to my Crimson Typhoon, is he actually stands. The joint holds. So that's cool. Now it's like, for how long? But the only real loose joint I see is right here on this leg is slightly loose. But nothing too crazy. And then he has this missile pod here on the side of his calf. Not any on this side though, because I imagine budget. Because again, he has brass knucks for a weapon, so
No,
we can't give him more missiles.
Whatever country or state, whatever made him, they were broke.
But moving on to his articulation, head can look a little bit to the side. You got pretty much his entire upper body kind of hindering his articulation. A little bit of an ounce, though. You can move the lower part of his neck. For his arm, can rotate that far back. Cannot go all the way around. That far forward. A little bit. Actually, you get a pretty nice side swing with it. The shoulder plate on the top is on a ball joint, so you get a nice little wiggle on the top. And then a rotation here at the top part of the bicep. Nice bend. Actually, a double joint here at the elbow. So you get a really nice bend at the elbow. And you can rotate all the way around. For his waist, a little bit side to side. No real forward and back motion, though. Just not really much of a wiggle, so you only really get a decent rotation. Legs can go outwards about that far, inwards about that far. They can pivot forward and back, though, which is nice. And then this is also like on its own joint here. So there's a joint on the inside of the waist, and you can kind of see that the plastic goes around the section here for the thigh. That's kind of odd, but it works. And then for his knee, there's a bend here at the top section. A little bend here at the lower section. Can't really rotate it at either sections. For the feet, can rotate all the way around. Move a little bit forward and back and side to side. And because I'm lazy, here we have Bracer Phoenix compared next to Titan Redeemer.
You're failing me, Steve.
2 videos for 1. And it's a little scrapper here as well. And here's Bracer Phoenix compared next to some NECA Pacific Rim figures with Cherno Alpha and X-Head.
I feel like NECA's winning in this part right now, Steve.
Well, that's the thing, is like NECAs are definitely much larger, but where I feel like the Robot Spirits figures win is just in better articulation and...
Oh, yeah? Let me show you something that they don't have. Bam, look at that. They have hand movement. NECA wins.
Well, he's the only one that has hand movement. Because he doesn't have an extra hand to rotate, he just has punchy
hands!
Woo!
And he can do splits by the looks of it.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing too I want to mention is that, like, paint job, I actually think the NECAs are a little bit better because, again, like...
Details.
Added all the details on the back. These guys are... The paint's a little bit skimped out on them, but they definitely have better articulation and overall, like, plastic quality, I feel. And here's critics some SC Monsters figures with the 2014 Godzilla and the 2017 anime Godzilla. Get out of here, George. Nobody likes you.
But, Steve, we need some better comparisons.
Well, granted... He's got 100,000 views already.
Exactly.
You gonna beat that, buddy? And here is next to some more traditional Robot Spirits figures with the God Gundam and Shining Gundam from Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Which I will point out, definitely in terms of paint job and details, higher than what we got with the Jaegers.
Are you sure, Steve?
Just a little bit. But then again, these were also like $50-ish each compared to 30, so... You give and take. So overall with the Robot Spirits, Bracer Phoenix, this figure is pretty solid still. Even with all the crap that we give in this figure, it's still a pretty decent figure in the end.
For $30, you can't go wrong, I guess. I mean, you pay what you... I mean, you get what you pay for, so overall, he's not that bad.
Yeah, because he's definitely, like with this line, it's a more budget-friendly Robot Spirits figure.
And I feel like the things that we picked on was not the actual Robot Spirit company's fault. It was just the design of the movie character / robot thing, you know?
Yeah, the only thing I would really like to have seen, which is something that I really love with the NECA figures, is just a little bit better attention to the paint job. Because the figure still just lacks an overall color variety that you're going to see with the version that you see in the film.
And definitely, since I'm going to watch it at IMAX, it'll definitely be better, you know?
Yeah, so that's pretty much where this figure is lacking, because articulation and plastic-wise, it's phenomenal, which is what I expect out of Robot Spirits. But the other Robot Spirits figures have a better attention to detail and paint job, which this figure is a little bit lacking. But again, for the price point, there's not much you can really complain about. But like we said, I'm kind of curious to see how good the Diamond Select ones are going to be, if they're going to have the same paint job like the NECAs, but have the articulation closer to these guys. I think you have something special then.
Well, hopefully. I mean, can't let us down. I mean, Diamond Select makes good figures, so
Yeah, so
statues or
it'd be cool to see some like nice healthy competition between the two lines. But for now, these are definitely very solid figures, especially if you're really into the Japanese figures. Then these are probably the versions you're going to want to get, especially with these guys working very well with other Robot Spirits figures and SC's Monstars figures. But what do you guys think? If you guys picked up Bracer Phoenix, what's your favorite kaiju, or is NECA just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. Look closer pictures of the guy on our Facebook. You want to click the link description below. We also have a Patreon account with exclusive prints for the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.